here at the Big Apple Bowl, and let's take a look at how these teams got here to this point. Missouri Tigers, 12-1 on the year, with their lone loss coming in the conference championship game, losing only by 2 points to James Madison. To this point, only one real good win on the year, handedly beating UAB, who will actually finish ranked on the year 40-0. Everybody else, in terms of talent, Missouri was better by a long shot. They were ranked 36th in the power rankings. Their closest opponent that they played outside of that UAB game was Grambling State at 55, and they only won that game by 2. Rematch with James Madison in week 7, Missouri wins by 3 points. They have been led on the offense mostly by Nick Page, the junior quarterback. 2,600 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a 105 QBR, led on the ground game by a two-headed monster in Matthew Moore and Alexander Wayman. Moore with just under 1,500 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. Wayman with 818 yards and 8 touchdowns. Just monsters there. On the defensive side of the ball, they had their sack leader in Cade Grayson with 12 sacks, 33 tackles, and their linebacker stud Brady Lee with 100 tackles. This is a good squad, and their record shows it, but they were also in a Dookie conference, as they would say. Mostly because of, well, it is. They had the 19th offense in terms of yards, 21st in points with 422, and on the defensive side of that, yeah, about the same. So again, playing in a subpar offense or subpar teams. They were ranked third in points allowed with 167, and fifth with yards allowed with a little bit over 3,500. On the flip side of things, we have the Cornhuskers, who we would also say is in a Dookie conference, because the Big 12 is. But they've had a decent year. Didn't start off as strong, losing to Iowa State in week 1, but had bounce back wins against a really good Washington team the following week. Big time wins over TCU, Colorado, Oklahoma State, and Tulsa. Eventually losing in week 11 to Oklahoma, kicking them out of the chance to play in the conference championship game, where Oklahoma would eventually lose to their bitter rival, Texas. Oklahoma's losses are 2 really good losses on the year and just missing out on the playoff conversation. Their team, led by Benedict Orsini, with a little bit over 2,000 passing yards, which is not a whole lot for an offense. 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Orsini's had his struggles on the year. Not the quarterback that Coach Heim was hoping for with the transfer, but he has gotten the job done to this point, getting them to this many wins on the year. But the thing that they can hang their hat on is their run game. They have two backs with over 1,000 yards rushing in Will Brown and Tyler Helton. Brown, with a little bit more yards, with 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 2 fumbles on the year. On the flip side of that, Helton with 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, only 1 fumble. Through the air game, Helton has an additional 126 yards and a touchdown, and Brown has 107 yards with a touchdown. Both have been stellar and will probably rely heavily on the run game again here tonight. On the defensive side of the ball, they have a two-headed monster in the linebacker group, and Quentin Harris and Adam Rodman. Harris with 131 tackles, a sack, and a pass deflection, with some additional forced fumble on the year, and has only been penalized twice all year long. And Adam Rodman with 107 tackles. Statistically, Nebraska has been a middle of the road team, ranking 33rd in scored points and yardage. Again, a little bit of middle of the road with 41 points. And on the defense side of the ball, this is kind of where they've excelled. They're 13th in points allowed and 18th in yards allowed. So they're a heavy defensive team when they can't get the struggles going. But if they can get the run game going, they can really make something happen this week. As we have some predictions in the chat, Ohio's coach, Adam Smith, believes Nebraska will win 35-17. Yes, in true Nebraska fashion, the ground and pound will be real, and as will probably Missouri's offense as well, will be a lot of running today. Expect more run this game than you would, say, in the Michigan-Alabama game. As the pleasantries are over here in New York, with Missouri being the away team, will elect to defer to the second half to get the ball, and Nebraska Cornhuskers will start it off. As we are underway, and it is a touchback, as Nebraska will take over 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Orsini will drop back to pass, and it will fall incomplete. They go to that ground game. Helton will get the handoff, and he gets 9. 3rd down and 1. They go back to the ground, and it will be stopped for no gain, as Nebraska will go 3 and out. 51-yard punt, no return, flipping the field, as Missouri will take over 1st and 10, their own 15. They won't do anything with it. They'll go 3 and out. Wyman gets a handoff for a loss of 1. Moore gets back-to-back rushes, 6 and 3, making it a 4th and 2, and we got another punt. 42-yard punt, no return. Nebraska takes over on their own 35. Orsini will complete a pass. He'll go 1 for 2 on the day, finds Aiden Pena over the middle for a gain of 4. Orsini was so excited by completing the pass, he forgot to make a play in time, and they'll get caught with the delay of game. 2nd and 11. Hand the ball off to Brown for a gain of 2. Brown gets the handoff again, and he gets dropped for a loss of 2, and they have to punt the ball away. 44-yard punt. Matthew Moore gets a decent return of 12 yards, bringing it to the Missouri 34. And they will go 3 and out. Nick Page will find Trey Collins for a gain of 6, an incomplete pass, and then a big time hit where there's a fumble, but it's recovered by the offense. No. Uh, Recovered by the offense, and it will be 3 and out. 64-yard punt will go for a touchback as Nebraska will take over on their own 20-yard line. And this is the gameplay you all wanted. Another 3 and out. Nebraska, Brown gets no gain, gets a gain of 7, and Helton gets no gain. 4th and 3, we have another punt. 44-yard punt, 15-yard return. The bye weeks have definitely affected both of these teams. 1st and 10 for Missouri. We got an incomplete pass, a rush with Moore for a gain of 3, and we have our first down of the game. Handoff to Trey Collins, who gets a gain of 8, and it's a 1st and 10 Missouri at Nebraska's 45-yard line. We have ball movement. Hand the ball off to Moore. He gets 1 yard. Moore gets the handoff again. He gets 3. 3rd down and 6. Page in the shotgun formation drops back to pass. Doesn't see anything. Decides he's going to step up and scramble, but he slides early. And they'll give him a gain of 3 on the play. It will be 4th and 3 at the 38. And Missouri will send out their kicker, Matt Kelly, with a 55-yard try. His career long, is from 45, and he has not attempted a 50-plus yarder all year. And they come up short as it is no good. And Nebraska will take over in their own territory at the 45-yard line. I don't know what Nebraska was thinking because they have a false start on the play. 1st and 15, Orsini drops back to pass, and he's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted by Missouri. And just like that, after the missed field goal, Missouri will take over 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. As they were too excited, the Missouri's starting quarterback, Page, couldn't find his helmet and was late getting on, and they have a delay of game on their on their side, making it 1st and 15. But it stops them not as they go out for a shotgun pass. Page drops back, unloads, and he finds Mason Goldberg streaking down the sideline with a one-headed catch, and he trots into the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri. A 59-yard hookup from Page to Goldberg as Missouri will kick the extra point, and it is good, 7-0. 3:43 left in the first quarter. Kickoff taken from the 6-yard line as Ryan Juice will get it out to the 25-yard line. Nebraska starting the drive backwards again with a false start. 1st and 15. They hand the ball off to Helton. Helton gets a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 13. Orsini drops back to pass after the play action, throws it over the middle. He's got Will Brown who breaks the tackle, and Will Brown is in a foot race as he's going down the middle of the field. He gets to the 40, the 30, the 20, and he is in. Touchdown, Cornhuskers. Orsini finds Will Brown, who springs into daylight, and they immediately tie this game back up. Less than 30 seconds, we have ourselves a ball game after a very slow start. It is 7-7. Missouri will get the ball taken from the 12-yard line. Matthew Moore, or sorry, the 7-yard line. Matthew Moore gets up and he gets a gain of 12 on the play, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 19. Page, incomplete pass. Next play, it's an incomplete pass, and it'll be pass interference on the offense. Brings the ball back. They'll hand it off to Wyman, who gets 9, and then an incomplete pass makes it 3 and out, and they punt the ball away. 48-yard punt, 19-yard return. Nebraska takes over in Missouri territory at the 48-yard line. Orsini toss play to Helton to the outside. He breaks the tackle, gets past the first down marker before he is shoved out of bounds for a gain of 11. They run the play action this time, but he dumps it off to the man they ran the play action with Helton over the middle. Defense kind of slept on that, let him free, and he'll get a gain of 9. 2nd and 1. Helton comes out, Brown comes in. Will Brown will get the handoff, rushes it up the gut, gets past the first down marker, and a little bit more as he stumbles forward, tries to get a little bit more yardage. He'll get 7 on the play. 1st and 10, Nebraska. Sticking with the hot hand, Brown will get the handoff. He gets a big gain of 11 yards, rushing past the second line of defense, and he'll be 1st and goal, Nebraska at the 9. Orsini runs the RPO. Good keep as he tries to get to the outside, but he'll be slung down for a gain of 1. Pistol formation this time. Helton and Brown in the backfield with Orsini. Hand the ball up to Helton, who's the up man. He tries to power forward, but he'll get a gain of 3. 3rd and goal from the 5. Staying in that pistol formation. Fakes the handoff to Brown. Helton stays back to block. He feels pressure as he has to dump it off quickly, and it's going to fall incomplete. And it will be 4th and goal from the 5. Heim will send out his kicker, Xavier Stanley, with his 22-yard chip shot, and it's up and good as we will end the first quarter. Extremely slow start with a bunch of punts by both teams, but a 30-second back-to-back scores by the teams makes this a 7-7 game, and Nebraska ends it 10-7 as they will kick it off to start the second quarter. Stanley, kickoff for a touchback, and Missouri will get the ball. And Missouri can't do anything with it. Matthew Moore will get 3 handoffs and only get 2 yards out of all 3, being up a 4th and 8. 46-yard punt, 8-yard return by Juice. Nebraska takes over 1st and 10 on their own 35. Orsini, feeling himself, will throw it short to Lawler, who gets tripped up trying to spin out of a tackle, and he'll get 5 yards on the play. Hand the ball off to Brown, who surges ahead, gets past the first down marker, and gets a gain of 11 on the play. Brown gets the handoff again. He gets a very hard 2 yards as it brings up 2nd and 8. Orsini, play action, has time, throws it deep, and he's got a man, Michael Mincy, who comes down in the end zone for a big touchdown. 47-yard hookup as the extra point is up and good, and Nebraska extends their lead 17-7. 11:40 left in the half. And Missouri has not been able to do much. Kickoff taken from the 4-yard line. Moore gets a 13-yard return, making it 1st and 10 from the 17. Nick Page, the only man in the backfield, as it's a designed quarterback draw, he'll slither through and he'll get a gain of 7 on the play. They hand the ball off to Moore. Moore surges through and he'll get a gain of 11. 1st down. Hand the ball off to Wyman. Wyman gets stopped initially at the line of scrimmage, but bounces it to the outside and finds a little bit more wiggle room as he gets past the first down marker himself and come down with a gain of 14 on the play, 1st and 10 on their own 48. Sticking to the ground game, hand the ball off to Moore. Moore gets a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Page fakes the handoff to Moore and he breaks it to the outside and the end bit on it and Page is going down the sideline. He's got some room. He gets to the 20, the 15, the 10, shoved out of bounds, but he'll be taken out of bounds at the 4-yard line and that will be a gain of 44 on the play as Missouri has it 1st and goal from the 4. They line up in a goal line formation. Sends a man in motion, takes the snap, hands the ball off to Wyman. Wyman dives over the end zone, and it's a touchdown, Missouri. Tigers cut into the lead, and it's 14-17. Nebraska a chance to answer, to go back up by 10. Kickoff will be a touchback. Orsini will hand the ball off to Brown for a gain of 4. Hand the ball off to Aiden Pena for a gain of 5. 3rd down and 1. Orsini drops back to pass, feels pressure, has to throw this ball away as it is incomplete. They will have to punt the ball away. Wells, a big boot of 52 yards as Moore will get it. He breaks a tackle, gets to the outside. He's got a great block on the outside as he's going for daylight. He's got a couple men to beat. He has an up man pick up a block, and he's got the punter to beat, and the punter gets him, but not after a gain of 74 on the return as they start off 1st and 10 at the Nebraska 12, and Missouri has all the momentum right now. Page will hand the ball off to Wyman. Wyman lowers his head, falls forward. He gets a gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Page calls his own number, decides to roll out, and he gets hit hard, and the ball pops free. We got a fumble. It's going to be picked up by Noah Johnston of Nebraska, who has a little bit of steam and will stumble forward for a gain of 7. And Nebraska with a big turnover. The safety comes charging in to pick that ball up, and it will be 1st and 10 deep in their own territory at the 17. Orsini drops back to pass, incomplete, incomplete, and incomplete. Squander the turnover away. They go 3 and out. A 55-yard punt, and they kick it to Moore. Moore gets another good return, this one for 20 yards, and they start 1st and 10 at the Missouri 48. Page drops back to pass, dumps it off to Moore on a screen play as he breaks to the outside and gets a gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Hand the ball off to Moore up the gut. He finds room, gets another great block by the tight end to the second level as he gets a gain of 10 on the play in Nebraska territory at the 36. Page drops back to pass. Nebraska sends the pressure and they get to him as he gets dropped for a loss of 6. 2nd and 16. They line up again, time winding down for the 2-minute timeout. As Nebraska showing pressure again, Page will hand the ball off to Moore, who gets blown up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And we have hit the 2-minute timeout. 3rd down and 16 at the Nebraska 42. They hand the ball off to Moore. Moore can't get much as he gets 2 yards, and Missouri will have to punt it. The punt will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Nebraska 1st and 10 in their own 20. They hand the ball off to Brown, who gets a gain of 2. Timeout, Missouri. Orsini with the delayed handoff finds Helton. Helton rushes forward. He gets a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd down and 5. Hand the ball off to Brown, who gets a gain of 1. 4th and 4. They have to punt it away. 47-yard punt, 10-yard return. Missouri takes over on their own 37-yard line. But after a delay of game, it makes it 1st and 15. A minute 36 left in the half. Page drops back to pass, finds Shannon Seward over the middle for a gain of 12. They hurry up to the line of scrimmage, decide to hand the ball off. Matthew Moore rushes ahead. He gets 9 on the play, making it a big-time first down, 1st and 10 at the Nebraska 47. Page drops back to pass, finds a Levitt on the outside, who gets a big first down and, more importantly, steps out of bounds for a gain of 14. Somewhat getting into field goal range here. Page hands the ball off to Moore, who gets 6 yards. Hand the ball off again to Wyman, who rushes ahead, and he gets 12 yards and a first down as he steps out of bounds. As Matt Kelly will line up for the field goal. Missed from 55, but this is well within his range now. The kick is up, and it is good as Missouri ties this up. But we have a flag on the play as we have holding on the offense. Score is taken away, and they have to drop back 10 yards to kick another field goal. This one from 42 now. Kelly has a long of 45 on the year. Kelly with the boot. It's up. And it doesn't matter as it goes through, and the tie ball game will stand as we go to halftime. It is 17-17. As Missouri takes it into halftime with a little bit of momentum. And they get the ball to start the second half. Score updates. As we look at some of the New Year's Six Bowls. Currently at halftime, it is tied up Wyoming, Miami, 10-10. Washington State is up 13-0 over Wisconsin. We're having ourselves a little bit of a beatdown. It's halftime. Alabama is up 24-7 over Michigan right now. And halftime, Central Florida is up 20-10 over Iowa State. And the last, not that one, the last New Year's Six bowl game, halftime, Ole Miss is up 24-3 over Colorado State. All right. As we get back into this game, halftime is over. Everything's been cleared out. Only 30 minutes left. Kickoff. Missouri takes over after a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And we're going to go run heavy. Collins with a rush of 2. Wyman for a rush of 10, 1st down. Seward with a rush of 11, 1st down. Wyman, no gain. Wyman, 11 yards, another 1st down. Moore with a handoff for a gain of 8. Wyman with a handoff, no gain. 3rd and 2. They go to the air instead of sticking to the ground game, and it falls incomplete. as it is 4th and 2 at the Nebraska 33. This is a 50-yard field goal, and Missouri elects to punt the ball away. Nebraska will take over after a touchback punt, 1st and 10 in their own 20. Seeing what happened over there, they do a little ground game of their own. Brown with a gain of 11, 1st down. Helton with a big gain of 12, 1st down. Helton with a gain of 6. Dominique Thomas will get the handoff and a gain of 9, 1st down Nebraska. They switch it up. They go to the air. Orsini tries to set up the screen pass to Michael Pledger, who is dropped for a loss of 1. They try the same play on the other side of the field, and it gets a gain of 1. 3rd down and 10 at the Missouri 42. Orsini with the play action drops back to pass. He finds Zach King on a wheel route, who is wide open and is chased down after a gain of 26 on the play. Nebraska 1st and 10 at the Missouri 16. Orsini drops back to pass, screenplay to the outside to Helton. Helton gets a couple of great blocks, and he gets a 1st down, 1st and goal from the 6. But Nebraska shoots themselves in the foot with a false start. An incomplete pass. A rush with Brown for a gain of 9. 3rd down and goal from the 2. They have the big bodies out there. Orsini hands the ball off to Brown. Brown surges forward, and he's gonna come up short as he will only get 1 yard on the play. It is 4th and goal from the 1. And Coach Heim has a decision to either keep his offense out on the field or kick the field goal. As Heim will send out his kick team. Stanley with the 18-yard chip shot will nail it as it's 20-17 in the 3rd quarter. 3:58 left as they kick it away. Missouri will take over. A decent return by Moore gets it to the 28-yard line. 1st and 10, Missouri. Hand the ball off to Wyman for a gain of 5. Hand the ball off to Moore. Moore breaks the initial tackle, and he has got daylight. He is running down the sideline, and they're not going to catch him. It's all the way for the touchdown. Missouri takes the lead. 67-yard rush by Matthew Moore, as the extra point will be no good. And it will be a 23-20 lead for the Tigers. The fuck? As it will be a kickoff taken from the 5-yard line. Juice gets a gain of 16. It'll be 1st and 10, Nebraska on their own 21. Incomplete pass, rush with Brown for a gain of 9, and another incomplete pass as they have to punt the ball away. 4th and 1. Big, booming 59-yard punt, a 6-yard return, but there's an illegal block at the back, and Missouri will take over 1st and 10 on their own 9-yard line. Pinning them deep. Page will drop back to pass, and he finds Goldberg over the middle as he's got some room to run, as he's going to be brought down by the safeties after a gain of 28 on the play. Big 1st down. Hand the ball off to Moore, who gets a gain of 10. Wyman gets the handoff, gets a gain of 6. An incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 4. They hand the ball off, and it's blown up in the backfield for a loss of 1 as Nebraska will stand tall and they will have to punt. And that will be the start of the fourth quarter. At the end of 3, Missouri leads at 23-20. Nebraska will get the ball after the punt. Quick score updates around the league. Michigan is fighting to come back. They score a touchdown. Alabama kicks a field goal, and Michigan scores yet another touchdown with a little bit over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Fourth quarter of action here in New York. 56-yard punt will be a touchback as Orsini, 2 incomplete passes and a gain of 7. They go 3 and out and have to punt the ball away. 64-yard punt. This punter is amazing. 8-yard return, flipping the field. Missouri will take over 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Hand the ball off to Wyman, who was dropped in the backfield for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12. Page, play action, throws it to the outside. Intercepted by Phil Seiler as it's a major turnover deep into Missouri territory as Nebraska will take over 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Orsini in the shotgun formation has a hard count. They make the defense jump, and he takes the snap, and he's going to run it himself, and he gets a gain of 7 on the play, and they will decline the offside penalty. 2nd and 3, hand the ball off to Brown. Brown finds a major hole up the middle, and he's going to be shoestring tackled before he can get into the end zone. A gain of 12 on the play, 1st and goal from the 2. Will Brown, after being denied last time they had a chance here, gets the handoff, and he powers through. Touchdown, Cornhuskers, as Nebraska takes the lead back. The extra point is up and good. It is 27-23 Nebraska with 11:31 left in the game. As we have another score update, Alabama has now lost the lead to Michigan 28-27 at the end of the third quarter. They have 1 quarter left. Back to this game in New York. Kickoff taken from the 1-yard line. Moore will get up the field. He gets a gain of 18. 1st and 10 Missouri. Down by 4 with plenty of time left. They go to the air. Incomplete pass. They go to the air again. Another incomplete pass. But there is a flag. A holding penalty on the offense brings it back. 2nd and 19. They go to the ground. Moore gets a gain of 4, and Page rushes it for a gain of 6, and they have to punt the ball away. 43-yard punt, 27-yard return by Juice, as it will be 1st and 10 at the Missouri 36, starting in great field position. Orsini will hand it off to Brown, who gets a gain of 3. Brown with a gain of 9. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass, and it brings up 4th and 10 from the 24. Ball start on the offense. Makes it 4th and 15 from the 29. Xavier Stanley still goes out there, making it a 46-yard field goal, as it is up and good, as Stanley helps extend the Nebraska lead to 7 with 7:51 left in the game. 1st and 10, Missouri after the touchback. Moore gets a handoff, bounces it to the outside. He finds a little bit of daylight for a gain of 12 on the play. Moore gets the handoff again. He gets a gain of 3 as Nebraska calls timeout. They have 2 remaining. 2nd and 7. Page keeps it for himself. He gets a gain of 7 on the play. First down. Moore gets the handoff for a gain of 1. And then 2 back-to-back incomplete passes. Missouri has to punt. Jack Dalton with a 39-yard punt and no return. They take over on their own 13-yard line, looking to milk the clock. Hand off to Brown, who gets a gain of 3 on the play. Hand off to Brown again. He gets a gain of 6, but there's a penalty on the play. Holding on the defense. Penalty will be accepted. Instead of taking the 6 rushing yards, they'll take the 5 penalty yards. Automatic first down. 1st and 10. Orsini hands the ball off to Helton, who gets a gain of 4, as it will be an illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. It's 1st and 15 for the Cornhuskers. At this point, Nebraska has about 4 or 5 penalties against them. 1st and 15, incomplete pass. Hand the ball off to Brown. Brown gets a big hole here as he's going forward. He's going to be a 13-yard gain. 3rd down and 2 for the Cornhuskers. And they will throw the ball. And it will fall incomplete. Not sure what Heim was trying to do here. But it's 4th and 2, and they have to punt the ball away. 59-yard punt, 19-yard return. Missouri 1st and 10 on their own 31. Nick Page keeps it for himself, and he gets dropped in the backfield for a loss of 1. Page rushes it again for no gain, and then Moore rushes it for a gain of 2. On that drive, cornerback Brandon Richardson was injured, and he's going to be out for the rest of the game. 3 and out. 54-yard punt, a 14-yard return, 1st and 10, Nebraska at the 28. It is 2:22 left in the game. Orsini drops back to pass, throws it over the middle, and it's batted away, incomplete. 2nd and 10. They decide to drop back to pass again, but he finds Aiden Pena over the middle for a gain of 11, big first down. But we have a flag on the play. Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty will bring up 2nd and 20 now. Orsini drops back to pass. He finds Bryant Lawler for a gain of 8. 3rd down and 12. Orsini will hand the ball off to Brown, who gets blown up in the middle for a loss of 1. And to add insult to injury, there is a holding penalty on the offense that will be declined. It brings up 4th and 13 at the 25-yard line. Missouri calls a timeout. And after the timeout was done, Will Brown of Nebraska is jawing with a defensive player, and he shoves him, and it will be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Will Brown, dropping it back 15 yards, making it 4th and 25 on their own 13, leaving the Missouri with a chance to have potentially good field position. Wells, 55-yard punt. Moore gets a good 16-yard return as it will be 1st and 10 on their own 48 as we hit the 2-minute timeout. Missouri drops back to pass. Page feels pressure, tries to make something. He's going to be dropped for a sack by Brett Miller. As we have an injury timeout on the field, linebacker Steve Dunning will come limping off the field. 2nd and 16. Missouri hands the ball off on a draw play with more and more Sturges ahead. He gets a gain of 10. Makes it third down and manageable for 6. Page drops back to pass, throws it over the middle. Ivan Chapman comes down with it with a sliding tackle for a gain of 8. First and 10 at the Nebraska 40. Hurrying up to the line. Page drops back to pass, feels pressure. He's going to be dropped for another sack. Tony Cisco will get there, and they will have to burn another timeout. 1 timeout remaining for Missouri. 2nd and 15 from the 45. Page drops back to pass, finds Brandon Seamoids on the outside as he can't get out of bounds, and Missouri will use their final timeout due to an injury instead of taking the 10-minute runoff. Tight end Brandon Simons, who made the catch, comes hobbling off. 3rd down and 9. Pass over the middle falls incomplete. 4th down and 9. This could be the game right here. No timeouts remaining. Shotgun formation. No one in the backfield. Page takes the snap. Looking. Pump fakes the short side of the field. Throws it to the far side. Finds Tariq Williams, who toe taps and gets out of bounds for a gain of 13 on the play. And it's 1st and 10 at the Nebraska 26. Page, shotgun formation again. Same look. Throws it to the end zone. Overthrows his man. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Page tries to set up the screen on the outside. Finds Trey Collins, but Nebraska reads it and blows him up for a loss of 2. 3rd down and 12. Delayed handoff to Moore. Moore finds a little room and gets a gain of 3. It's 4th down and 9. 25-yard line. Chance for the game right here. Page drops back to pass, and it's a draw play to Wyman. And Nebraska gets in the backfield with the pressure, and he's dropped for a loss of 1 as it will be a turnover on downs. And that will be the end of the game as Nebraska and Orsini will kneel it out. T1 bowl victory for the Cornhuskers as they will win it 30-23.